What's up? I was about to say what's poppin', but Jack Harlow kind of ran that into the ground, so I feel like I needed a new intro, and I don't know what that is yet, so we're gonna go with what's up. But yeah, this is my first official video back from my break. As you can see from the title, it's obviously Forgotten Hip Hop Gems. And what that means, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna be going back and talking about either just old hit songs or songs that flew under the radar. It doesn't really matter how popular the songs are, but the video is just gonna be me talking about some older songs that I enjoy a lot and giving some shine to those songs. So let's jump into it.
Smoke out, choke out, we get off the chain like we just broke out. You don't know about me, J. When I come through, all the haters get.
I first heard this song as a kid at the end of Are We Done Yet? And I've been bumping it ever since. And I feel like it was one of those bling rap songs that should have been considered a classic when people talk about the best songs from that era, but no one really discusses it that much. And I don't really know why, because I feel like, the beat is really nice. Like, it has its own personality of its own. It could single-handedly carry a track, but it doesn't really need to because all the rappers bring it. It's just a super fun, upbeat song that I feel like you could probably put on at a party today and everyone's still gonna have a good time. What I really like about the track is that it's a posse cut, but all the verses are at the same level. Because I know on certain posse cut rap songs, you'll notice that not all the rappers are at the same level, and not everyone has the same energy level when they're all making this song together. So this is one of those posse cut songs that doesn't have that problem. Like, all the verses are cohesive with each other, but all the rappers bring their own unique flows and personalities to the track. Trina in particular, I really liked her flow and thought her voice complemented the beat really well. Autobahn is my favorite Suicide Boys song, and I don't really see it mentioned when it comes to fan favorites. It's honestly got one of the nicest beats I've ever heard. Scrim did a really good job of flipping the Juvenile sample, and I think the whole snippet in the beginning talking about the gangs of New Orleans is from Gangland, but wherever that's from, it does a really good job of building the suspense before the beat drop.
You a big G, so you got your block on fire, you remain in the G, until the moment you expire, you know what it is.
Then Ruby and Scrim hop on it with their signature vocal styles and just kill it, especially Scrim. He uses like this really deep and gravelly delivery. Well, more so than usual, that's just his voice. But, the way he was rapping on the track just went perfectly with the beat. After about his third line, I saved it right to my playlist.
Rocking each other's pants to school wasn't easy, we survived winters. Snotty nose with no coats, we kept it real, but the older brother still had.
All That I Got Is You is one of the few songs that's actually made me cry. Hearing the struggles of Ghostface's childhood hit me pretty hard, and obviously hearing that over the really sad beat and Mary J. Blige's outro just added on to that emotion. He details his struggle growing up in poverty, having two brothers with muscular dystrophy, and having to deal with a mother that mentally couldn't handle it, which made things that much harder for them. It's a masterpiece if you ask me. In a weird way, the song actually makes me happy when it ends though, because you hear the story of his childhood and how hard it was, but then through Wu-Tang Clan and his own solo career, his life changed so much for the better, and I'm just happy for him. Ghostface and his family had to live through struggles that no one should ever have to be subjected to, and it's something that millions of families go through. That's probably the saddest part of the song. Stories like his are pretty common. I bet if we made millionaires and billionaires listen to this song every day, the world might actually become a better place, because this song is just super powerful and they have the power to change things, but something's telling me that billionaires don't have the most empathy. A man can dream.
JJ, Mikey, Lil Derek, and now 79th Street was America then. Ice cream truck and the beauty supply. Blockbuster movies and homes again. We were still.
Summer Friends is one of those songs you can't fully appreciate until you play it while driving around at 3 in the morning. It's just one of the most soothing songs I've ever heard, and there's just something about playing it at night that makes it hit different. But on the song, Chance just reminisces about his childhood summers in Chicago and the kids he hung out with during those summers. It's a song that everyone can relate to. Not specifically to what Chance is saying, because he's only talking about his own experiences, but it just hits you in your nostalgia bone and it gets you thinking about your own experiences. We've all had those summers with those special summer friends that didn't always stick around, but you always got the memories. And it doesn't even really have to be restricted to just summertime. I think Chance is kind of just referring to seasonal friends in general. The kind of friends you hung out with for a couple years and then slowly drifted away because you started growing in different directions. You know, me personally, I've had a handful of summer friends and I love them all for different reasons because I was at different stages in life with all of them.
We're always high, it's a fact. Off bad chemicals like doner kebabs. Big dealers are always popping the gap. There's 3 ways to die just looking at that. In fact, the whole news.
Drugs on Tap is a song that talks about so many things that I could probably dedicate a whole video just discussing it and analyzing it, which I might do that. On the song, Lloyd talks about predatory pharmaceutical companies, healthcare disparity, negative self-image, the toxic modern work culture, poor food quality, depression, obviously addiction, and a few other things. He goes off for 5 minutes straight over a really nice beat, and he has me holding on to every single words for the whole entire track, which is really impressive because it has no hook, but you know, it's still not only entertaining but educational and informative, and that takes skill. It's a song that might come off as preachy to some people, but that's just because he's on a mission with this song. He knew that not everyone knew about the information he was speaking on in the track, so I give it a pass just because, you know, there's stuff on the song that I haven't heard any other rappers talk about. The biggest one being that he talks about how the medical industry would rather treat people for illnesses instead of cure them because there's more money in that.
And pharmacists don't want to cure you. They make money, business ain't for you. Unless you're the boss, they will never cure AIDS. I'm trying to gauge what Magic Johnson's paid.
That's why weed and psychedelics are still illegal, but they push alcohol and opiates as much as they do. They need us to keep coming back, not realizing how much power we have within. If we're all at this high frequency, then they lose their billions, and they don't want that. Like I said, I'm not going to analyze the whole song, but just listen to it for yourself if you haven't, and really analyze the lyrics. Like, go to genius.com and read the lyrics, because he just breaks down why a lot of the problems we face as a society and the world in general aren't really accidental at all.
You don't know how hot it is here. The streets is tricky in these parts here. You don't know how hot this.
K9 does not get enough respect. He's a rapper from Toronto that blew up around the same time as Drake, but their names obviously aren't brought up in the same conversation because Drake is the megastar that he is. He's the biggest artist in the world, and I don't even think K9 makes music anymore. Much like Drake, he's super versatile. Not as versatile, but he can also rap and sing. Most people know him for Waving Flag, which is where I discovered him as a kid, but he has a lot of other great tracks, like TIA. It's a song about his love for Africa, specifically Somalia, because that's where he was born. He was only partially raised in Toronto, and it's a fun track. It really is. And what I like about the song is that he talks about the positive and the negatives of growing up there. Like, you'll notice that when it comes to rappers or really any artist in general that talks about where they're from, they only talk about the positive and the good things. But this guy's like, hey, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, and I respect that. I also really love the music video because it's just super creative and well edited for something that came out in 2009. Like, even till this day, I haven't seen a video with the same kind of feel.
Everybody simple, and these niggas is simpletons. Tell them bitches fall back, just like they was limbo in. We still gotta.
Chitty Bang is responsible for one of my favorite childhood songs in Opposite of Adults, but for this part of the video, I want to talk about another one of theirs that I think should have been just as big. There's really not much to talk about lyrically with hand claps and guitars, although there are some clever lines, but it just sounds great. The beat feels super grand and stands out because it doesn't really sound like a regular rap beat you would hear at the time. It kind of reminds me of what Vince Staples was doing on Big Fish Theory, where he hired a bunch of non-hip-hop producers to make the beats. The hook for the song is also pretty generic lyrically, but it sounds good and fits the vibe of the song so well that I don't even really care. I can put this song on and just instantly be in a better mood.
My nigga, you ain't been what I been through, and if so, you would take a pencil to your temple. Cause I done served veins on a man.
As far as I'm concerned, this is Danny Brown's best song. His punchlines, references, rhyme schemes, wit, and delivery, they're all just A1.
What you write is all vagina, what I write is wall of China. Nigga, that's great, like you're hiding something like a toupee. Truthfully, my friend, touche. They're still fucking with them freak hoes. Stank pussy smelling like Cool Ranch Doritos.
When it comes to just straight up performance on a track, I think this is one of the best in rap history. I bet the energy in the studio was just off the charts when he was recording this.
Hey, don't fuck with you now.
I know I've talked about beats a lot in this video so far, but this actually might be my favorite beat of all time. It's just so soulful and emotional, and you get a great hook and great verses on top of it. It's literally a perfect song to me, and it just, there haven't been many songs that have hit me at a level that this song has. And to me, it's ageless, you know, like when I'm 80, I'll still be bumping this and enjoy it as much as I do now. And I haven't even talked about the lyrics yet. And that's just what's so great about this song, is that it not only sounds amazing, but Mac and Kendrick really brought it lyrically. And I'm not even talking punchline rap here. I'm talking bars about life. I'm not going to analyze the whole thing, but I will talk about the two lyrics that touched me the most.
When you were young and you just trying to live your life and have some fun in a world where you have yet to see how evil it's become.
The older I get, the more I see just how backwards and twisted the world is, and that's something that everyone resonates with. When you're a kid, you're on cloud nine, you know, you're just existing was enough to be content, and the only things you're really worried about is the monsters in your closet and what's for dessert. When you're an adult, you have to worry about the monsters in power, bills, toxic relationships, and trying to find purpose.
So what's your calling? Oh, you left your phone behind. Identity.
This is one of those lyrics that kind of took a while to click in my head, because Kendrick doesn't really emphasize how important it is with his delivery. What I got from it is that Kendrick is saying that we're all just so caught up in technology and social media that we trade personal growth for instant gratification and validation. And that's something that I was really guilty of for a while. Instead of meditating, spreading love, going out in nature, reading books, you know, stuff that actually matters, we watch porn and try to go viral. This is just one of those things that if you know, you know, but there's a reason why suicide, depression, and anxiety is at an all-time high. Hip-hop has one of the hardest hitting beats we've ever been graced with, and one of the most iconic opening lines as well that even Drake paid homage to on Over.
One thing about music, when it hit, you feel no pain. White folks say controls your brain. I know better than that. That's game.
One thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain, and I swear I got it that make these go insane.
It's a song that not only sounds great, but has a lot to say. It's kind of like Plain Jane. You can turn up to it, but when you actually sit there and listen to the lyrics, it's saying a lot. Stickman and M1 spend their verses talking about the music industry and how music labels exploit and prey on up-and-coming rappers without really caring about the culture or the artists as people. My favorite line from the song is from M1, where he says, and the reason I like that line so much is just because I feel the same way. I like all forms of rap, you know, trap metal, boom bap, lyrical, melodic, really anything I can vibe with, but it's pretty obvious to tell when someone isn't being authentic, and when I can tell you're not being authentic, I don't really want to listen to you. Like, take Lil Pump and Lil Dicky, for example. Most people would probably say that they like Lil Pump's music more, but they have more respect for Lil Dicky just because he's an authentic guy and he can actually rap. He's just a funny Jewish guy with clever bars that doesn't try to be anything else to look cool. And because of that, their careers have had completely different trajectories, even though they both have had massive hits. Lil Pump already fell off because, you know, people got tired of his fake drug dealer persona, while Lil Dicky is out here getting his own show on FX.
High five.